Dr. Jayanti ma'am, please.
I think her audio is muted by the host.
யாருது கட் பண்ண சொல்றேன்.
Jayanti ma'am, are you?
Professor Muruganandan, the e-speak now there, that screen reader is talking and we are hearing your voice.
Jayanti ma'am, could you please introduce the first resource person? Okay, I think Dr. Jayanti ma'am has some technical issues. Ma'am, Dr. Jayanti ma'am.
Or else
Okay.
you can.
I think she's not able to connect because of some technical issues. Okay, so I take privilege to introduce our first resource person, Dr. V. Sivaraman, Associate Professor, PG and Research Department of English, Presidency College, Chennai. He has completed his MA in Madras Christian College and his PhD in the University of Madras. His field of specialization are Indian drama and English and assistive technology for persons with visual impairment. He has attended many national and international conferences and seminars and has many presentations and publications in the same. He has many publications in the journals too. Sir has delivered special lectures in various universities, to name some: Central University of Tamil Nadu, Christ University Bangalore, and so on. He has been invited as a resource person by Tansky and UGC HRDC to host and conduct many workshops. Presently, he is holding honorary posts such as the subject expert on the Board of Studies, Stella Maris College, author for the preparation of communicative English to higher secondary classes appointed by the SCERT. Sir is also conferred to the Arunodaya Presidency College Resource Center for the Differently Abled as the coordinator and has converted more than 30,000 books into accessible as well as audio formats. And sir is also a recipient of many awards. To name some, he is the recipient of NAB Award from the Tamil Nadu, from the Governor of Tamil Nadu. Sir is experienced with 16 years of teaching experience, and he has produced many scholars, many MPhil scholars, and presently he is guiding 6 PhD scholars. Sir, we are really happy to have you amongst us. I think the platform is yours, sir. Dr. Sivaraman, sir. Dr. Sivaraman, sir, the platform is yours, sir.
Yeah, I mean, hello.
Hello,
You
Dr.
are audible,
Sivaraman,
sir.
sir.
You are audible. Yes. Sivaraman sir, you are audible.
Dr. Sivaraman, sir.
Audio now on.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Dr. Sivaraman, sir, the platform is yours, sir.
Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Shall I have my video on or?
Yes, sir, you can have it on.
1 minute, yeah.
Yes.
Video now started alert. Speech mode off.
Yeah. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. In fact, I must thank the Department of English, Sir Tyagaraja College, Chennai,
यार हमारी आईडी अलग है क्या?
हाँ
For having given
वो
me
आईडी अलग है?
सबकी आईडी
opportunity
एक ही
to
होती है
share
मेरे ख्याल। अच्छा एक
some
काम
of my
करिए, एक काम करिए,
views.
उसमें जो नंबर दिया है,
I hear some disturbance here. May I request all the participants to just mute? Yeah.
Sir, he is muted. The person is muted. You can go ahead, please.
So to express, to give my, to make my observations on the changing trends in teaching English language and literature. I must say that I'm going to have about 3 important parts in my presentation. In the first part, I will highlight where exactly is the need for the change. And to understand that, we need to understand the existing system and where exactly in the existing system do we have the hitches. I will also try to highlight in the process the new education policy, which has already come into vogue, come into practice. I will also try to highlight the outcome-based education or the outcome-based syllabus, which the University Grants Commission, of course, insists on. And in the second part of my presentation, I will go on to highlight the changes that we need to make in about 3 important domains that concern English teachers. Those 3 domains are: number 1, our foundation English class curriculum, English curriculum. And the second one is our branch 12. And the third one, of course, is our PG, which also takes into account our research. And in the third part, I will suggest the scope for making the changes in the syllabus. So these are all my broad rubrics under which our discussion or my presentation will revolve around. And after the presentation, we will have about 10 to 15 minutes for interaction. If possible, you can unmute and then express your question and express your views or observations. If you have any question, you can raise, or you can even type it in the chat box. Now, let me move on to the first part of my presentation. In the present system that we follow, there is so much emphasis on what is called the technique, the method, and the approach. So I'm not going to highlight the technique or the method or the approach. So this is the point that I'm going to make very clear to all of you here. In almost all the 3 parts of my presentation, my focus will be on the need for a change in the content that should go into the making of the syllabus, that should go into our curriculum. So this is the point that I'm going to make it very clear to you. So I'm not going to concentrate on the methods of teaching. Nor am I going to concentrate on the techniques or even the approach. So the first thing is, we are the entire English department is now polarized. between the language and literature. And there is so much talk on bridging the gap between the language department or the people who advocate for teaching language or for giving priority to language, and those people who say that literature alone has to be taught, and through literature you can impart language to students. So there is a problem, there is an issue with both these approaches. Number one, in the language part, those who say, or you can otherwise call them in our own parlance, the ELT exponents, all of them lay emphasis invariably on the skill-based syllabus. You need to go by the basic 4 skills, the basic four language skills, LSRW as they are called. And only by imparting skills, these basic skills to our students, we can make them learn language. And the literature people, or the people who advocate, right, for teaching literature, and through which, of course, a language can be imparted, they say you must concentrate on the text. And when your aim is on teaching the text, the teacher can creatively make use of the method which is in accordance with the situation, that he is that any teacher is handling. So basically, there is something wrong with these two approaches, and those who say that we need to bridge the gap between the two also merely go on to generalize or make a sort of a sweeping generalization instead of merely addressing the issues. So the first one, let me take up the first language or the ELT part. By saying that we need to concentrate on skills, by saying that we need to make the students use error-free English or flawless English, we are so much obsessed with the form that we lose sight of the content. Maybe on paper it is not so, but in practice it is so. You can take all these statements for discussion, or when we interact, of course, you can point out these things and we can have a fruitful interaction. You're not going to have any sort of an argument as such. So they say by harping too much on error-free English, we need to make this, we make the students totally conscious of the sentences that he or she has to utter. So what is wrong with this approach? What is wrong with this side? It has resulted merely in the silence of the majority of the students, or you can to some extent say it has resulted merely in the mechanical repetition of the stock expressions which the students have managed to learn from their classes by way of repetition, drill, practice, etc., etc. And when they repeat that, unfortunately, the content they come out with is very often outdated, very often repeated, and there is nothing absolutely new in it. There is nothing called, people merely come out with what has already been taught to them. And that is what happens in many of the soft skill classes and even in Part 2 English classes. And they say, they try to uphold that claim with what what is called the employability. The corporate world says that the graduates who come out from these higher education institutions are not employable primarily because they do not have any command over their language.